Hey y'all, so I just threw some feed out to these hungry girls, but in the process, look what I found that is getting ripe now finally. Grapes there, grapes there, back in there, and some way up there that I won't be able to reach. I was afraid we weren't going to get any grapes this year, but looks like the girls going to town on those weeds. That's why I haven't worried too much about keeping the tires weeded that I wasn't growing anything in, because I actually was growing stuff in it for these girls. Gary was asking for an update on the bridge. You can see it right there. You can see this large boulder that we've set it on here without disturbing the creek bank. We're laying a rock wall up right here so that you can see this is high water mark right there. Comes right around to the base of that rock. So we're setting up these rocks right here just in case there's even a higher flood. There's no chance of it washing the roadbed out in that area. Probably going to pile a few small ones around the base of that just to kind of protect the bank on this side. We're going to do the same thing over there on the other side. But starting here, and then as you can see, we have a lot of fill to do in this area here, because you can see clear up here is the height of that bridge. We're going to cut this bottom bumper off so that the actual frame rail sits down on the rock. So that's going to drop it probably 8 inches. But we still have all of this fill in to do, starting back there, sloping it up gradually. So all of this gets filled in once we get these rocks out and that rock wall laid up. This is midsummer water level. You see it's only a couple of feet deep here, but it's not running very fast. And down there where it crosses the road isn't very deep either. All of this roadbed here we built up a couple of feet deep. In the shallower areas and up to nearly 4 feet deep. Right there about where Doofus is. Because this gets really swampy down here on the sides during rainy season. And we don't want a problem with the road. That was the old road. But we changed the course. Straighten it out, make it easier to drive on and pull a trailer through. But looky there, I found some grandsons. Okay, so we got a lot of projects going on here. We got the sawmill out because we're going to cut some bridge timbers. And we found that, unfortunately, the head will not go up and down because apparently these uprights filled up with water and did not have a drain point. And when it froze, it pooched the sides out just a little bit. So we've taken all of this assembly off, taken a sledgehammer to it, got it straightened up, but now we've got to put a jack under it, lift the head up, because there's a little bit more swollen area below it, behind this slide assembly where it's stuck. That side's moving free, this side's not. So that's the joys of not having a good shed to keep stuff in. So that's going to be one of the projects we're going to be dealing with as well. And here is the back side of the bridge. We're going to cut the other side down, as I mentioned earlier, which will drop it down a little bit. But because of this bank that drops down over here and the roadbed coming down there, you kind of got a little bit of a curve to the creek and the bridge. Have to fill all this in, make sure water drains correctly, doesn't put silt in the creek. And a bunch of cross timber is going to run across and hang out a couple feet on either side, and then some runners to drive on. And it should make a pretty solid bridge. We hope anyway. Well, I've got this yard mowed. Still have to do a little weed eating around the fence lines, but here's what I'm doing. I ran the mower where it was blowing in instead of out, so I could collect a pile of grass clippings. So I don't have the vacuum system on the lawnmower, but I'm gonna take this grass up. I'm gonna give it to the chickens. They're gonna turn it into compost for that garden up there.